How's everybody doing today? I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful wreath using this 12-inch sign, originally from Unique in the Creek. Now y'all, this was so popular that they ran out, but I did take a gander, and you can find this on Craft Outlet, but originally it did come from Unique in the Creek. This is 12 inches. Look how gorgeous that is. Can you see the glitter? All around here is glitter, glitter in the hat. So beautiful. So we're going to be using this 12-inch sign. We're also going to be using this large board from Unique in the Creek. And we're going to be doing 3 different kinds of mesh today, you all. We're going to be using this wonderful, this is called a thin double stripe white mesh on Unique in the Creek. However, I've always known it as kind of like a window pane mesh. And the numbers are on there for you to purchase this. So you can get that right from Unique in the Creek. Right in the description are the numbers. And then we have this light blue metallic mesh. And then we're going to have this smoke blue metallic. Well, actually, it's not a metallic mesh. It's a smoke blue jute, faux jute mesh. So those are the 3 types of mesh we're going to be using today. And then grab yourself a pack of these zip ties, because you know we're always going to need those on the board. You're going to need yourself a few of these clips from Unique in the Creek. You're also going to need yourself some of these rubber bands from Unique in the Creek. A package of these would be great, right? What other goodies do we have? We are going to be using some of these sequined curls from Unique in the Creek. Now, these are in the description, and I did buy 2 of them. They come 3 of these things on 1 stem. I bought 2 of them because I'm going to be using 5 of these guys on my wreath. And I also have some snowflakes here from Joanne. I don't know if I'm going to use these or not, you guys. I just have them out here just in case. Grab yourself some light blue pipe cleaners from Unique in the Creek. And I'm going to show you my ribbon choices. I'm not going to use all these. I just wanted to pull some of these so you could see what you could use to go with this. Now, this I'm probably going to use from Unique in the Creek. This is the light blue glitter ribbon. And then we have this wonderful double-sided, right? Double-sided. Look how pretty that is. Satin on one side. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's that. Now these both of these you can find right now on Unique in the Creek. And then I also pulled some 2.5 because I wasn't sure what I wanted to use. These came from my local at-home store. So this is kind of a plaid with different blues in it, blues and silver. And then we have this one here, which I called the pine cone ribbon, because it has pine cones on it. So we've got that too. And again, not sure what I'm going to use yet. I'm going to try to play this by ear once we get this going. But I like to have these available just in case, right? All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to use our wood burning tool. So put your wood burning tool on, get that all fired up. And the first ones we're going to be starting with, oh, by the way, we're going to be using the daisy chain petal today, the daisy chain petal. And you're going to need 24 daisy chain petals, all right? So this is pretty alone, right? We've got this light blue metallic, beautiful by itself. And then we've got this, which is really pretty by itself, right? But we're going to make these extra, extra pretty, okay? So I have a glass cutting board here. As you can see, that's what the ring light is reflecting off from, right? The ring light here, whoops, right here, is reflecting off this. And I'm going to put this down on my board. And the first thing I'm going to do is put this light blue down. Put the light blue down, and then I'm going to take this one and put it over the light blue. Now you've seen me do this before. I've used, you know, the double meshes before, and this is just going to make this extra special, you guys. So what we want to do is we want to connect these 2 together so that when we are making our petal, they stay together, right? You don't want to have 2 separate pieces of 10-inch mesh and try to make them into one petal because they don't stay together. So the goal here is to get these so that they stay together while we're cutting our petals. So you want to line these 2 up, right? These are both 10 by 10s. So I'm going to line these up the best I can for a little bit here. And if you have one that's 10.5 inches and one that's 10 inches, just split the difference between the top and the bottom, okay? And then what we want to do is we're going to make a line. We're going to hot tool this down here so we can singe these together. We're going to melt these two pieces, right? The top one and the bottom one together, all right? So I'm only going to take about an inch or so off this end just so I can get these to go together. So here is my hot tool, which I got from Walmart a million years ago. So on your glass cutting board, you're just going to take one of your lines here and take your cutting tool and cut right down through here. And that in turn ties these right together, serges these right together. It melts them together. Okay, so now we can start cutting. Now we can start cutting our 10-inch pieces, all right? And I only need 2 because I've got all my petals made ahead of time. So I'm going to put this end on my 0 over here. All of this is on my cutting board. And then I'm going to measure out 10 inches. So the bottom one, you want to, I kind of smooth these out so that the bottom one is flat as well, and then make sure they're lined up top to bottom best you can. So put this one on your end line, kind of flatten it out until you get to the 10. I hold my arm over here so it stays where it's supposed to. And then on my 10-inch mark here, I'm going to grab my hot tool and I'm going to pick my line, my 10-inch line here, and I'm going to follow that all the way down through. Okay, just like that. And then we have a piece that's got both the top and the bottom together. Right, these are seared together. All right, so that's what we got. 24 of those. So I'll do one more because I already have 22 cut. Again, the light blue is on the bottom. This window pane mesh here is on top. Line the edge up over to the 0. Flatten it out on top of your glass. And then we're going to cut it one more time on the 10-inch mark, which I see is right about here. So I'm going to get that all the way down through, take that all the way down through. Okay, back, shut that down, and there we go. So there's your other piece. Alrighty, so I'm all done with that. And now I'll show you how to put these two guys together. Okay, so I'm finished with this, so I can take this and put it away now. And I'm finished with my hot tool, you guys, so I'm going to put that away too so that I don't accidentally burn myself, right? And now we're coming back, and I'm going to show you how to make the daisy chain petal. Now, you guys are probably all experts in this already, but let's just show you. Let's grab ourselves some of these rubber bands, and you're going to take your 10 by 10. See, now these aren't completely lined up here, but it's okay. They don't have to be perfect, right? So I've got my finished edge here and my finished edge here. I like to take the bottom and bring it up. You might want to be one that takes the bottom and brings it down. It doesn't matter, but I like to take my bottom and fold it up. This is double thick, remember here, so it's a little thicker. And then we're going to just take this top corner, bring it down to the bottom here. Right down to the bottom, but we're not going to come to the edge. Here's my edge right here. We're going to come about ½ inch from this edge, right? And then I kind of flatten it out. This is where you're going to need your clips, so get your clips here. And then we're going to take this top piece here and fold it down one more time, and that's what it looks like. I'm going to take one of my clips and put it in the middle. And then I'm going to get this lined up. I'm going to take one of my clips, put it on the other end, just like that. And one more clip. Actually, I have a third clip here, but I don't need it because I'm going to take this side and fold it over to this side. So the side that I'm folding over, I did not clip. Now, I'm left-handed. I go from left to right. If you're right-handed, you might want to put the clip on this side and not this side and go boom. Right, so the side that I'm folding over, I don't put a clip on. Is there a harm in putting a clip in all 3 spaces and then folding it? No, there's not. You take your pick. Fold it over so these ends match. Okay, and then I like to have about a 5¼ inch, or actually a 5-inch loop here. So I'll take it and line it up, and then down to the, so I've lined it up on the 10, right? The 15 mark is where I'm going to scrunch it up. So scrunch, scrunch. This is pretty thick, you guys, because we've got 2 kinds of mesh here. And then take one of your rubber bands and rubber band it. Okay, and then you've got this end to the rubber band should be about 5 inches, and it is. And then what I like to do is just take my clip and clip this off. And I have a tail there. All right, let's make one more of these. Okay, so we have our 10 by 10 inch piece here. Open up just a smidgeroo. 10 by 10 inch piece. Finished edge, kind of triangle. I bring the top down to here. That. Actually, what I do, I did it the other way. I like to bring my bottom up. I bring my bottom up. Either or, you pick. And then push those down. Bring this edge down to here, but not all the way. Leave yourself about a 1/2 inch, just like that. Take this top portion, fold it back over so that these edges here line up. Right? Take a clip, and then I've got my left side. I'm going to flip on over to the right, so I'm going to take this edge, match it to this edge, flip it over, kind of match these up, right? And then you're going to measure from, we want this to be 5 inches from here to here, so here to here is 5 inches. I'm going to crunch it up, and then what I like to do, what I didn't do before, is I like to cut the tail off first. It's easier to cut the tail off before you rubber band it, because then you don't have so much for the rubber band to get over. So I'm going to take about 1 inch of that rubber band off there, right? And or the inch of the mesh off there, and then put my rubber band on. Okay, and keep that up. Keep your rubber band at 5 inches, right? So from this rubber band, take your clips off. From this rubber band to here should be 5 inches. And it is. And if it isn't, I move my rubber band. So pretend you're too long. Move your rubber band up. If you rubber banded it too high, take your rubber band and move it down. So 10 inch, 5 inches. I'm a little long, just a smadgeroo. And there it is. So you've got one spot that looks like that. Kind of got that opening there. And then you've got the very round spot on top. This is the side. It's the pretty side. That's not so pretty side. And now what you're going to do, so we've got that petal all made, right? We've got our beautiful blue shining through there. It's super duper pretty. Now we need the outer part, right? So we've got this inner part here. We're going to be doing this part next. So that's where our smoke blue mesh comes in. So we've got one piece of mesh here. I'm going to take the bottom, fold it to the top. Same manner, same thing as last time. Take my top, bring it down to the bottom, but not all the way. Fold that down. Fold it over toward me a little bit more. Now this one I like to use the 3 clips on, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to go one in the middle, one on the end. Now I usually clip it, see kind of where this end is here. You've got this finished edge and then this edge right here. That's about where I like to put my clip. On each side, just right on the edge here, where this edge kind of comes right here. That's where my clip is. So my clip looks like this. All right, and this is the finished edge up here. So then we're going to bring in this guy that we just made. So we have the smooth edge here, that edge there. I'm going to make sure that the edge that's open faces away from me. So I'm going to lay this on my table with this edge that's not finished away from me. If you want to do it with the edge facing you this way, you can, but just be consistent in whichever way you lay this piece. So I'm going to lay it like that, and then I'm going to take this guy with my top finished edge on top, and then I'm just going to wrap this guy up. So I'm going to wrap him around, and I'm going to kind of line up these pieces here on the edge. They don't have to be perfect, you guys. Don't be like, oh my goodness, I'm a ½ inch. Line them up about, right? Get this snug so that this part snugs up here. Get this situated correctly. Take these guys off now. So we have this, and we have our tail. I'm going to grab this right here, grab it. Here's our extra tail. Here's our inner piece that we did. Here's our extra tail. I'm going to cut the extra tail off to here. Cut the tail, cut the tail. So I've cut these two edges off, and now these guys line up. Then I'm going to take another rubber band and wrap it around so that this rubber band kind of goes on top of my original rubber band. So the original rubber band has been on this piece, and then the outer one is right on top of that. That assures me that my measurements from here to here are going to be the same on all of these petals. So if I now measure this again, I've got from here to here about 5.5 inches. 5.5, 5.25. I'm going to go 5.25 inches. So from this outside band here to my rubber band here, I'm going to do 5.25 inches. All of my petals will be 5.25 inches from here to here. And that makes, when you're putting it on your board, really, really easy because you don't have to start lining them up. You know your rubber band is the correct lineup for your petals. Okay, so let's do that one more time. We've got one more piece here, right? This is our 10 by 10. I'm going to take my bottom, fold it to the top, kind of mush it down. I take my top and fold it towards me, not all the way. Take this top piece here, fold it toward me one more time. Grab one of your clips, middle, clip end, and clip end. You don't have to be precise, just clip the end so they stay. Grab your piece here, make sure it's facing the same way as the other one was. Put it on your board with this pretty side up. Wrap it around with this top finished side up. You see the bottom of this is open. We want this top side up. Wrap this guy around him, give him a big hug. Try to line these up fairly. Put the top of this to the top of this. I'm pulling that down, grabbing it. Now that it looks pretty to me, I'm going to take these guys off. Okay, grab it. I'm going to grab it where my rubber band is here, this crease. I'm going to clip off this tail, right to here. Clip my tail off. Just the extra that's over and above that light blue in there. Grab rubber band and put the rubber band on top of where the other one was, on your underneath light blue. That way, take this out, give it a measure. 10.25 inches is where I want it. So if it's a little long, I'm pulling this baby up. And there we go, 10.25 inches right there. That's our petal that we're going to be using all the way through here. So let's get this thing put together, okay? Clean up our mess just a little smidge. And get our board out here, and I'll show you how I loaded the board. 24 petals all in all. Large board right here, okay? Large board. So what I did is I've got every hole plus the in-between holes. Hole plus shared. All right, so hole plus shared, right? All of these are connected, all of them. And you can start wherever you want on this. I'm going to start at the top. So what I did, because I'm going to be adding some of these little doohickeys in here, I have started at the top of the board, which is right here, and that's going to be where my first one's going to be. And then I measured 5 down. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is where my next one's going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is where my next one's going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is where my next one's going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is where my next one's going to go. So there's going to be 5 of these hanging out around our board in addition to our petal. All right, so very first, this is the top of the board. right? This is where our numbers are, the very top. I'm going to stick this guy in. I'm going to want to make sure that all of these circles are going in the same direction, all right? I don't have one going that way and then one going that way. I want them all the same way. So I'm going to stick this in. Now, I'm probably going to take this down just a little bit. So have yourself some clippers out. And I might even need my big clippers for this. I'm going to take this down just a little bit because I don't need all of this. If you wiggle this back and forth, you'll be able to get it. You might be able to cut it with these too. Once I clip through, clip through that. So I've got that. I'm going to stick it right in here. And then I'm going to decide how far out I want this to be. So I'm going to take my very first petal and I'm going to stick it on top of that. Now, the ones that we're putting these in, you might not want to tighten up all the way until the end because you might want to adjust this. So I'm going to put this in here and not tighten it up all the way, but I'm kind of getting to get an idea of how far out I want this to be, right? So here's that, but I want this out just a little bit more. I want this to hang out above my thing here. So I'm going to turn it toward the side so I can get a good eyeball on how I want this to look, right? How I want that to look. And again, I can just, that looks good right about there, I think. So I'm going to just put this in lightly. Again, keep that one loose so that you can decide how you want that to look, all right? So there's, and I'm putting these in all the same way. So all of this opening is going to face that way. And now we're going to go on to number 2. Again, make sure when you put these in, this flat side is up. There's our underside. We don't want that up. We want the flat side up here, right here. And then put this in the next one. And this one I can really kind of hunker down on because I know that that's kind of going to be where that's going to be. All right, so grab yourself a pair of these pliers and that will kind of help you with your hands. And I'm putting it right where my rubber band is because remember, I've already measured these, so I know that they should all be pretty exact once I get these in here because I've measured all this out in the beginning. All right, so here comes our next one. Make sure that goes in correctly. And our tails can be long, you guys, because we're going to be putting this sign over it, and those tails are kind of help hold our sign up, okay? So again, right where the rubber band is, we're using the daisy chain petal on this with 2 beautiful colors that are going to match beautiful with our sign for sure, okay? Now, if you accidentally put these in upside down, don't worry about it. Just unclip it, turn it over, put a new zip tie in. All right, all the way around the board until we come to the next black mark where I'm going to stick the other one of these. And also in the end, I can decide if I like those or I don't. And if I don't like them, I can take them out. But in the meantime, I'm putting them in just so we can see how they look. So, all right, so there's one. So here's 2. Here's another one right here. So this is the 5th one over. I'm going to slide that in. Again, and I'm not going to tie this one right down because we might need to adjust those. Give myself a little wiggle room for the adjustment, right? Okay, so there's that. Again, we want it kind of to be the same as the other one, so there's that. Get that about right. This one looks a little bit bigger, so we might have to adjust that a little bit differently. So just to keep it in there, just enough to keep that there. And again, you're putting this in that side up. I can bring you guys in just a little bit more if you'd like, if I can get you in as close as I can. And again, my rubber band's a great way to measure these. You can see that these are measured out really well here, really well. And that's thanks to my rubber band and my measurements prior to putting these in here. Now, instead of putting these in, you guys, you can do snowflakes up here. I didn't have enough of these snowflakes to do. Some of these were on a stick. I suppose I could have picked more up. You could have do all snowflakes around here if you wanted to, which would have went really good, the snowflakes. So just a couple of different ideas. pick what you like, pick how you want yours to look, right? There's no wrong and no right. You pick the design that you like. And you guys, if you ever need inspiration for design and you're using a specific board or a specific sign or a specific kit, just look up on YouTube in the search bar. If you want to find out what to do with the daisy chain petal, all you have to do is in the search bar put daisy chain petal. And a whole bunch of videos will come up with daisy chain petal, different things that we've done with the daisy chain petal, right? A specific sign, write the specific sign in there. And that video will come up for a specific sign. So you'll always have choices. You know, if you're like, oh no, I'm not really sure what to do with this sign or what to do with, you know, this or that, just go on YouTube. Wealth of information, truly, you guys, a wealth, and you can combine styles. Let's say you like the color of the petal that I use, but you're like, yeah, I don't really want to use that petal. I think I'll want to use a different petal. Well, go on there, look up the sign, look up the petals, and mix and match all your stuff. Okay, this one is not going to be tight, remember, because we need to be able to adjust that. And here again, our wonderful daisy chain petal. And I love the combination of melting these two together, right? It just gives it that extra special something, right? Again, 24 petals down through here. 24. And if you make them all up ahead of time, you guys, easy breezy, right? Kind of like Lori does. She'll sit there and she'll watch her TV and put the petals together, and so you get to watch something that you want to watch. You get to do something that you like to do. Again, all of this mesh, all of this stuff here came from Unique in the Creek. So you all, if you wouldn't mind pulling my what am I trying to say? My affiliate link in to get some of this stuff, that would be super good. All right, these guys where they're supposed to be. No wonky wonk. Go. Well, one more to go, and then we got one more of our little doohickeys here. Oopsie, upside down. Make sure it's right side up. Okay, and now we're coming back in with another one of these guys. These guys are perfect, you guys. These are sequins, and they're really, really sparkly. See those? Really, really sparkly. I love them. Slide this in here. I probably way too long. Well, not too bad. Not too bad. And these are wired too, so you can unfold them, fold them in as much as you choose, whatever you guys think you want to do. Nope, not too tight. There we are. And around we go. See, all my openings are facing one direction. You don't want to have an opening facing this way and then an opening that way. You want them all to face a direction. That gives your wreath a continuity, you guys. A nice continuity. All right, so far so good, right? So far so good. One more of these, and then we're going to do one more of these whirligigs. I call them whirligigs. They're not whirligigs. Let me tell you exactly what they are, you guys. Here I'm calling them whirligigs. They are called... They're called, or did I did it. Sequin Glitter Curl Sprays. Sequined Glitter Swirl Sprays. That's what we've got. Super cool. All right, one last one. One last one. Again, if you want to put these glittery sprays in here, you're going to need 2 of them because they come in 3 per section, 3 per stalk. Call it 3 per pick. we go. We are down to it. Then the fun begins. And we get to decorate. God, I almost don't need the next one in there, do I? I almost don't need that last one. Huh. I might be able to get away without them, you guys. I might not even be putting the last one in there because, I don't know. Let's see what I think. Let's see. We're pretty snug as a bug in a rug in here. Let me see. Well, we'll put them in there. We made them. We'll put them in, right? You made him, put him in there. Yeah, we did it. Got him. Got him. Okay, now I have all of these in here. I know they're kind of hard to see. There's that one. There's that one. And this one here. I'm just trying to go around and see if they're about the same. About the same. Which one am I seeing? I know when they're laid down they don't look about the same, but once you... Okay, I'm going to hold this up for a second. By me, you guys. This one's too big. And if they're too big, you can even fold them in a little bit more. I want them hanging out about the same. Let's see. This might be a little much. Let's see that one right there. Trying to get a judge on it here. All right, that looks really good to me. These look really good about where they are. So I'm going to take my zip tie gun now. I'm going to go all the way around here and zip tie these guys in. All right. I see one here that looks tall for me. There's one over here that looks really tall, so I'm going to fix him. This guy here looks, this guy, there we go. Get these guys down in just a little bit more. There we go. All right, that's better. They were trying to work themselves out of here. That's what they were doing. But we caught them and brought them back into order. Okay, so this is what we've got, right? That's what we have. Now you can see this once I lift it up. All right, so that's what we're going to be working with. Now what we're going to do, you guys, is we're going to get our sign ready to go on here. Remember our sign? So I'm going to find the top of my frame. Right, let me find the top of our frame here. It looks like it's right here is the top. So that's where the top of my sign is going to go. Okay, so we need to prepare our sign, and that's where your pipe cleaners are going to come in handy. You're going to need 2 coordinating pipe cleaners. Okay, 2 coordinating pipe cleaners. Now in this sign it comes with 2 holes, one on the top and one on the bottom, and that's where our pipe cleaners are going to go, right through there. And I'm just going to give it a twist, a couple twists right there, and the same thing with the bottom, right? Put it on here just like this and give it a couple twists. I like to even these out and then twist it. 1, 2 twists. All right, now our job is to put it on here. So find the top of your board, which I should have grabbed another pipe cleaner so I figured out where it is. Where's my numbers? Trying to find where my numbers are. Here we go. Right here's the top. So that's going to go here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be tying these pipe cleaners into the top of our board up here. All right. And I'll show you in a minute which ones I'm picking to tie those into, because we want to make sure that this is pretty even. Okay. So I'm going to take this and grab I have this hook. I have this hook here. So we can take this, put in here. Just helps us feed this through, right? And once I feed this through, I'm going to show you. So at the top here, Let's see if this is going to work for me, and I think it is. There's one. I'm going to feed this other, and again, I'm going to turn this over so you can see where I've chosen to put this, but it's hard to describe right this second. All right. And I also want to make sure that it's correct where I have it. Let me see. No, it's a little low. I think it's a little low here, but maybe I can just kind of move that up. Yeah, I can. I think I can. So I'm going to tie this up for a second. Then I'm going to put the bottom one in. And again, we'll show you in just a second where we've got these guys going. I got that one in even without the hook. This one I might need a hook for. I think I do. It's just a little bit easier than struggling, you know. There we go. We got her. Alrighty, so all right, so looks perfect to me. So here we are. Here's the sign right there. Now I'm going to turn it over and show you what I did. So this is the top. Okay. Here's the top. That's where you put your holes. Right down the center here is where I've put this. Same with the bottom. So top right down to the bottom here, that's where I put it. Row number 2, row number 2. Right, that's where that's going. So let's give these a twist. Let's twist these. I like to twist them 3 or 4 times. And then take my cutters and cut it. And then just take these pliers and stick that right back down into the hole. Okay. And the same with this one. 3 or 4 times. Clip it off. Right back down into the hole we go. Right in there, buddy. Just like that, so you've got a clean back. All right, so now there is what we have so far. Now this is cute just the way it is, really. It's cute. I might even move these up just a little bit. Kind of force these up a little. Again, these are movable, you guys. These are movable. So you can make them in or out, whatever you want, you think looks good. But what we have here is I have a place where I've put these pipe cleaners. I kind of want to cover them up. Not that they look horrible, you guys, because they don't. But I think I'm going to put a bow up here. That's where I put a little bow and a little bow. Again, if you had, like, I was thinking maybe these snowflakes would be good. You know, a snowflake up here, or maybe a bow up here and a snowflake down there. But first comes first, let's try the little bow for the top here. And to do that, I am going to use, I think I'm going to use, now look how good this is. I want you all to see why I picked this. See those colors with this? But then I have to decide if the 2.5 is too wide. So these colors go beautifully with this blue, all these blues in here. This goes beautifully. But what I want to do is make sure that these aren't too thick for what I have to cover here. It's pretty thick for a coverage, right? So we might want to go lean on the sparkle here, maybe a little bit of each of these in here. The sparkle looks beautiful. Love that. This is super rich looking. So let's experiment with a couple of these. What do you think? Let's see what we got going on here, all right? So we've got the Easy Bow Stow and Go, which I got from Unique in the Creek as well, you guys. You can outfit yourself with everything, this whole wreath, everything you see here from Unique in the Creek. Let's just fiddle for just a couple minutes, if you're with me, and make a little bow for this. But I just love this velvet and the satin underneath. Oh my goodness, like what, you know? Like really? So I'm gonna leave myself a tail, not real long, probably like a 5-inch tail, you guys, because I don't want much of a tail hanging I'm not going to have a tail hanging down. My tail's going to stay side to side. So I'm going to take this little edge and cut this little edge off because, you know, we don't want that edge like that. But what I can do is give it certainly our clip here, dovetail, right? And again, I'm just going to leave it out 6 inches. I know I'll probably have it's extra, but that's what I kind of like to do. And it's going to be a fairly small bow, you guys, because I don't want to overwhelm this. My goal really is just kind of to hide that little pipe cleaner that's there. So I might be doing like a 3-inch loop. And let's do that. And it might just be, these 2 loops. I don't know. But I'm going to start with 3 inches. I'm going to test it. And then we'll see what we want to do. And by testing it, I mean, I'm going to put my loops here. I'm going to keep these guys out. 3-inch, 3-inch. And then I'm going to take it out of here, right? Because we're working with a real small bow at this point. Take it out of here. And then I'm going to put it on top of my wreath. Well, this one looks a little longer. Then I'm going to put it on top of my wreath to see if this looks about right. Let me look and see. Oh, that looks marvelous. You guys, this is perfect. Honestly, this is absolutely perfect here. So let's keep what we got. So we're going to do that. So we're going to have 3-inch loop, 3-inch loop, okay? 3 inches and 3 inches. Tail side, tail side. So this is about 6 inches. This one's going to be about 6 inches. So loop, loop, tail, tail. We're going to do that. Okay, and then we're going to cut this down. All right. And then I'm going to grab myself, I think I'm going to grab myself a piece of wire. I got some green wire here. Now you're not going to see this wire, but I'm just going to use it because it's nice and thin. And I'm just going to pull this up. Truly, since we have such a little bow, I don't need to worry about losing my stack. I'm just going to put this wire around here, guys. And that's what's going to be holding my bow together. And twist it, just like that. All right. So that's going to be for the top, and I might do the same for the bottom or a snowflake. Let me see what I'm thinking. Hang on, snow. Actually, it might be bow. So I think we're going to do 2 bows the exact same way. 2 bows exactly the same. I think that's going to be great continuity for this wreath. So again, I had a 6-inch tail here, so let's stick with that because I want these to be the same, right? And then we've got our 3-inch loop on this side. Let's bring you guys in a little bit. All right, 3-inch loop here. And a 3-inch loop over on the other side. Right there, perfect. Flip it over, and so I've got the velvet side showing up. I suppose you can easily flip this and have your underside, but that's kind of an underside, so you really can't flip it. I was thinking you could flip it, but you really kind of can't. All right, so there we go. 3-inch, 3-inch loop, and 6-inch tail. Just as easy as that can be. Just like that. Okay, and I'm going to grab another one of these. Another piece of this is a 26 gauge wire, you guys. And they use it a lot in florals. It's called 26 gauge floral wire. Again, just pull this out. Since we don't really have a stack per se, it's so small that we can just do it like this. Put this in here. Wrap it around. I'm just going to push that up, twist my bow, and there I go. All right, now this part can go right down underneath. We're all set with that. We're set with this luscious, luscious ribbon that is very luscious from Unique in the Creek. And get this guy out of here. And we're just about wrapped up here, you all. This is coming together really nicely. We're just about done. All right, so we'll take this bow, we'll put it down at the bottom here. Kind of like that, I think looks good. We'll stick it in here. And again, I'm going to stick this bow right in. I'm going to stick this bow right in on top of where I put my light blue pipe cleaner, all right? So again, I can bring this guy out. This is really thin here. So I know exactly where to go. And it's so thin that it's going to go through perfectly, right? We don't need to put another pipe cleaner there. We've just got a thin wire. If you do not have any wire, you can by all means use a pipe cleaner, right? You can get 2 pipe cleaners in there. There's no doubt about it. You can put 2 pipe cleaners in here with no trouble. And there we go. Get on, turn around, buddy. He's resisting me. And then we'll probably put a little dab of glue here, a little dab of glue, right? Because we want that to stay on top of what we're trying to cover. All right. And let's put that down like that. And we'll open these guys up again. I wanted an accent. I did not want anything to take this over. It truly was just an accent. All right. So that's that. And you can't even see the green wire, y'all. But I am going to tuck it down a little bit further. I want to make it tighter because I didn't quite make it tight enough down on here. So I'm going to tighten that down. And I don't even think I need to glue it. I think it's perfect right there. And then we can see what we think about these guys. And I am going to cut this one a little bit more because he looks like he's a little overjoyed there. A little overjoyed. There we go. And this looks perfect. Okay. All right, and now we'll do the same thing to the top. Cute, right? Cute, cute. So we've got our other bow right here. We're going to do the same job as this one. We'll take our little threader here, put it right through where the other ones were, where our pipe cleaners were. There's that one. This one here goes into here, right next door. You could actually thread one of these, you guys, right through where the top pipe cleaner went. Let's try that one. Let's give that a try. Right through the top pipe cleaner and down. Just a curiosity's sake, thinking. There we go. There we go. All right, that's through there. That's through there. Let's see how we did here. Yeah, we're great. So either way works. It doesn't matter which way, where you thread these, you guys. It all will work. And I'll turn it over for you so you can see what I've done. Right, so there's that one right here. And I'm going to leave these to the side because we don't want them hanging down over our flakes and drifters, right? So this one looks a little long for me, so we're going to give him a haircut. We want him to be about the same size. We're going to take our loops, just loop these up nice and pretty. Trying to get this to stay in just right, y'all. Not real pleased about the way this is making itself go here. I was trying to put that underneath there, really. What do you think? Let me look. Let me look. Well, that needs to go down the bottom. It kind of does. Yeah, that needs to go over the top, just like the other one on the bottom. Okay, that works. We did our flakes and our drifters. All right, we got it. Look how cute this is, right? Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness, right? Look at that. absolutely adorable. Flakes and drifters. Here we come. How cute that's going to be, right? All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This was so much fun to do, right? Move that. I want to kind of get him centered a little more. This little off center he was there. There he is. Here you go, flakes and drifters. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you again soon. Bye, everybody.